Hello?
No, yeah, no, yeah, no, wait, no, yeah, no, no. Yes!
Emotional damage.
Happy fucking Friday, chat. It's Friday. What is up? How's everybody doing? Chat, let's do the things. Welcome, Dave, BitGamey, the homie Greg. Thank you for that lurk. Jack, Taneda, good to see ya. Belint, I see you up there. Belint, you have first today, my friend. That is correct. Let me do some things. It hasn't even been 10 minutes yet, Steady. Why don't you forge something, sir? I have to do some things. I have to be a good streamer friend. Shouting out all of the friends that do awesome things, my fellow blacksmiths, my fellow science lovers and educators, my fellow Lego family. Leia, welcome in. Hawk, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. We have a lot of stuff to do today. A lot. Hey, Aaron, welcome back, my friend. Good to see you. How have you been? But first, we have to talk about the massive elephant in the room. Not me. I don't know why I pointed to me. I mean, I'm fat, but I'm not the massive elephant. So, there is the opportunity for you to win one of my knives tonight. But you have to stick around because it's not going to be until the end of the stream. So here's what's going on. Our friends, Devin and Derek over at Moco Made, are having a huge celebration right now. They have been giving shit away all day. And, sorry, excuse me. If you want to leave me on lurk, Trick, what is up, my friend? Good to see you. So, if you want to leave me on lurk,
my stabbing.
King Steamy, thank you for that follow. Welcome in. If you want to leave me on lurk to go win some free shit with the Moco fam, please feel free. Awesome friends of the channel, Moco Made, Devin and Derek. They just got partner a few weeks ago, and today is the day that they're celebrating. Huge party, huge long stream. They've given away shit all day. A ton more stuff to give out. They're giving away one of my knives. So to celebrate their success and also their support for the entire makers and crafting and art community and their support for me and what I do, I sent them one of my low layer twist K-bar style fighting knives, fully complete. I don't have any more finished ones here, but this style, they have a fully complete one, and they're going to give it away tonight on stream. So when we are done, we are going to raid over to spread some love to the Moco friends, the Moco fam, and they're going to run the giveaway. All you have to do is be following Moco. So follow Moco Made, hang out till the end of the stream. You could win yourself K-bar style fighting knife. Just like the ones that you'll see scroll through in my pictures right here. It'll come up again in a minute. Now, with that said, we have a lot of shit to do today. Oh, because we've got orders to finish. So, Kumai, get the fuck out of here, Steady. Fucking mute you. Don't think I won't mute you. I don't care if you're a mod. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not gonna ruin a blade with copper. What's wrong with you? Steady knows that's a trigger word for me. Putting copper in a fucking blade. Yeah. I applaud you trying something new, Leia. Although I cannot support nor condone that specific effort, because I despise banana bread. Yeah, see, King Steamy here's got the right idea. A copper guard, copper in the handle, copper pins. 100% okay with that. But copper as a layer in the blade to do a copper San Mai or a copper Damascus? Fuck no. Fuck that shit. Jack, I hate you. I hate your face. I don't like banana bread, and I don't like...
Now stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing.
The only time I like bananas is fresh, actual bananas. Like, I can't have them in anything else. I don't like banana-flavored stuff. Just straight raw banana. That's it. Sir King Crayons, welcome in. Thank you for that follow. Jack, now you're just trying to trigger me. I love you, but I hate your face. Oh yeah, we'll hit 800. I'm sure. Well, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So, here's what we have to do. We have to thin this billet down. This is a 320 layer ladder pattern. Making it for Acres Ridge Forge, but he wants it thinner. It's sitting at about 1/4 of an inch right now, but he wants it to go thinner, so we're going to forge this a little bit thinner. We're going to start off with just clearing the scale off of this billet and drilling it for raindrop. This one is also 320 layers. We're going to drill this down and then forge it out flat today, and should be able to shape the knife profile out of that one. That's going to be that Skinner. We're redoing the Skinner with the gut hook on that one. And then I have somewhere around here, I've got the chef knife for Dave that we have to continue forging. And I don't know if we're going to have enough time to get to the grinding, because we do have to grind, so we might do the grinding on this tomorrow. This is a little new design for a EDC type blade, and that's for a commission from our friend Amish Ace. And then where the fuck did I put the chef knife? Oh, it's because I haven't finished it yet. That's it. So we started shaping out the profile of the chef knife, and then I marked where we're going to isolate it, so we got to set the tang in on the chef knife for Dave. And Dave, I did not add another layer to this yet because I want to see how it turns out first. But if I need to add more layers, I've got the whole other chunk of billet where I could make more knives out of it. So we've got 3 things to heat and beat today, and squish. And then, provided time, do some grinding. Who won the follower goal? Fantastic question. Aaron. Thunder Punch, our friend and moderator over in Brox's channel, won the Feather Damascus. Speaking of, I might put some work in on the Feather Damascus tonight too. And then I doubled down. So if you missed today, Aaron, we absolutely crushed that follow goal. So I doubled down because we more than doubled the goal. So I doubled down and said I was going to give away 2 knives instead of 1. So I did a second drawing, and Census Taker won the second one. And then we did a few weeks back, maybe 2 weeks ago, or I don't remember. I can't keep track of days. But we got everybody that was able to attend the stream joined and had feedback on the design, and community decided on an American Tonto style. And then I'm going to go with the same style handle that I'm doing on the Skinner and the knife that I'm doing for Amish Ace. So I drew out a template for it, so we're going to forge both of them to this template and finish them to be matching. So an American Tonto style blade, micarta handles. We're going to do the Desert Tan, well, technically it's Coyote Brown G10 micarta with black G10 liners. And then the one we're doing today that's going to be the raindrop is a gut hook skinner. It's kind of curled up, but that's the basic template I drew up for it. So we're going to be working on that one again today. On the Tonto? Yeah. Not the whole back, but both the Tonto and that other EDC that I just showed will have a false edge. So it's not going to be the entire spine, but yes, false edge on it. Yep, close to 800. Be at 1,000 before we know it. We'll be close. But the deal is, in case you missed it, we are giving away another knife tonight. Well, we aren't. I already gave the knife away, but I gave it away to somebody who is giving it away. So here's the deal. If you're able to stick around, because our friends at Moco Made got partner a couple of weeks ago. Today is their big celebration. They have been giving away free shit all day, and will be giving away free shit the rest of the night. So if you're not already following, go give Moco Made a follow. Feel free to lurk and hang out there and win some free shit until we're done. But when we're done here, we're going to raid back over into Moco Made, and that's when they're going to give away the knife. I sent them one of the low layer twist K-bar style fighting knives, and that's what they're giving away. And Derek is going to be making a sheath for it. It'll be his first ever knife sheath. He's a leather worker. They do art and leather stuff, but they've never done sheaths before. So it's going to be his very first sheath that he's going to make to go along with the giveaway knife. So that's the deal with the free shit. If you want free shit, stick around. Now, we're going to clean up, just roughly clean up the scale off of the billet that's not drilled yet, because that's the first thing we got to do is drill it. And I'm going to move the camera real quick before we do that. Toss this up here, because I'm going to need the camera back over by the mill. Now, with all of that shit out of the way, hopefully everybody had a great week. Having an awesome Friday. Mother's Day is this weekend, so I'm assuming a lot of folks probably have plans. And just gonna get chat pulled up on the phone. Nice. Yeah, it sucks waking up ridiculously fucking early, since my job is in a time zone 3 hours ahead. But it's also nice that my work day ends super early too. So I might have to get up for work at 5:30 in the morning and be at work by, I don't have to go anywhere, but I might have to be working by 6 a.m. But then I'm also done by 2 p.m. Not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. Alright. That's pretty close. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be good enough. It's all getting forged again. The only reason I'm grinding the scale off is the forge scale is really, really difficult on drill bits. And we have a lot of holes to drill. So, I'd rather those bits last as long as they can. Hey. We're good there. I'll come check chat in a second. Give me a minute. Set that down. No, wire wheels don't really get the scale off anyways. So, no. Yeah, I'm not a morning person, Trick. Not at all. Tomato, I would say, personally, I feel like hidden tangs are easier to make. A full tang, you really have to, like, you have to be really 100% sure on your handle design before you make it. Yeah, wire wheels aren't really going to get off the forge scale. They'll make it nice and shiny and kind of polish it, but they're not going to get off most of the forge scale. So, like these bits right here, the actual scale, not just the you know, really thin oxide layer, but the actual flaky scale. A wire wheel's not really going to do much for that. I mean, maybe if you hot brushed it, but I, for a really stubborn scale, I'll blast it with water. So I'll do the, you know, put some water on the anvil and then smack it with the hammer, and that'll blast the scale off. Or, if I'm lazy and it's at a stage where I'm not at a finishing stage, like this billet, like a twist billet. If I was going to restack, if I was going to cut and restack this, all this scale, I can get it off with the chipping hammer. So I'd literally just beat the shit out of it with a chipping hammer, and this forge scale will flake right off. And I don't really care about leaving dents and dings in it because it's going to get ground flat anyway for the next welding pass.
Now stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing.
Irish John, welcome in, my friend. How are you doing today? Thank you for that follow. Oh yeah, no, it's rough on belts. I use old belts for scale. I really do not want to use belt. So forge scale is rough on everything, belts or otherwise. So your best bet is, if you can get away with grinding discs, to use a grinding disc first. You know, one of these guys, the 1/4 inch aluminum oxide grinding discs. That's probably the easiest thing to do, even easier than using a flap wheel, like a flap disc. But there is a neat little trick. If you put water on your anvil and then set your piece and then whack the piece with the hammer, it'll blast the forge scale off, and you'll probably see some of that tonight. First things first, though. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit. Okay, that's probably good right there. Yeah, when it's hot. 100% when it's hot. I'll show you, because it shouldn't take too terribly long to drill this. Oh, what size do I want to do for the raindrop? That's a good question. Balint, since this is the take number 2 on your billet, do you want a larger raindrop or a tighter, smaller raindrop? Poxler, welcome in. How are you doing today? Snippy, welcome in. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Yes, you read that title right, friends. You could win one of my low-layer twist K-bar style fighting knives.
Now stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing.
Mortex, thank you for that follow. So here's the deal for everybody that just joined. Here's the deal on the giveaway. Our friends, amazing friends of the channel, Devin and Derek over at Moco Made, just got partner a couple of weeks ago. And they're doing their huge celebration stream today. And it is a huge celebration. They have been giving away free shit all day. And they're going to continue to give away free shit all day. And it's going to be going on for a long time. So one of the things they're giving away is one of my low-layer twist K-bar style fighting knives. I already shipped it to them. And Derek is going to be doing his first ever knife sheath. To go along with that knife. And all you got to do is be following Moco Made. And we're going to raid over there when we're done here. And they'll give away the knife. So you could win one of my knives. So stick around. Today we're just going to drill this billet real quick for raindrop, and then we're going to get everything in the forge. We got one billet to thin down some more for a customer, and then a knife to forge out of this, and another knife we have to finish the profile on. Rexy! What is up, Rexy? How are you? If somebody could give Rexy a shout out for me, I would super appreciate it. And also, if I missed any shout outs for any of the other friends, it's not intentional. Feel free to shout yourself out or shout each other out. My shout out command is open. Thank you, Jack. Today is a good day to catch it,
Emotional
Rexy.
damage.
Because I am doing well. Doing good today. If you are going to be up later tonight, when we're done here, we're going to raid over to our friends over at Moco Made. They're doing their big partner celebration today. And they've been giving away free stuff all day. They're going to keep giving away free stuff all night. One of those things they're giving away is one of my low-layer twist K-bar style fighting knives. So when we're done here, we're going to raid over there, and they're going to give away my knife. So stick around, and feel free if you want to win other stuff, because they're giving away shit all night. So if you want to go win some free shit in the meantime, feel free to leave me on lurk. Go pop over there, give the Moco friends a follow if you're not already following, because that's the only requirement, is that you are a follower in order to be able to enter. Hold on to your butts. Why did that cut off? Thank you, BitGamey, for those 100 butt-holding biddies. Among all the other streams that I lurk in, I spend my day, because they're on while I'm working, and I hang out with the Moco fam. And they are an amazing community, super fun show. Brother and sister, Devin and Derek. It is absolutely a shit show, but they do amazing work, and they're incredibly supportive of the rest of the makers and crafting and art communities, and do a lot to promote other makers and crafters and artists as well. And they've recently been introduced to a lot of the Lego friends, and it's been a perfect fit of communities, I'll say. Well, hello there. Okay. See, this goes a lot quicker with all that scale cleaned off the billet. And since I've had this question before, in case anybody was wondering, I do not use cutting fluid when I'm doing these, because cutting fluid is a mess, and it's sticky, and I fucking hate trying to clean it off of these billets. And off of my hands when I'm done. So on something like this, for the raindrop, I do not use cutting fluid. Drill bits are cheap enough, and I resharpen them until there's no more life, and then I'll just buy new billets, or new bits. I'll see if I can, so that one is a sound alerts thing, but I can pull up the sound alerts dashboard and play it again. I think sound alerts just borked on that one. So many holes. That's what she said. Wait, what? Also, just a reminder for anybody that's new and hanging out today, my shout-out command is open, and I strongly encourage you to shamelessly self-promote. I have not been streaming on Twitch for too long. few of my friends that I've known through some blacksmithing and makers Discord groups for a while convinced me to stream, and I finally caved in and did it. And I found the overall makers and crafting community to be so incredible and so supportive and fantastic that I try to pay that back where I can. And one small thing that I can do aside from, you know, just giving bits or something like that, or promoting people or talking people up, is also sharing their work on stream and sharing the love. Follows are free, and you never know when you're going to meet your new best friend. And I found that even if maybe the topic doesn't sound interesting to you right away, the communities and all the folks that come in here are amazing communities. So, if you stream, feel free to share it. Let us know. Maybe you don't stream, but maybe you do art, or you make something, you do some kind of craft, and post it online somewhere. Share that too. Share your links. We'll take a look at it. I want to see it. I'm sure others want to see it. Promote the shit out of yourself. That's what it's there for. This billet is not perfectly flat. The bit is wandering just a bit. But that is okay. %. Like, I know it's not the best Twitch etiquette or whatever, and that's fine. You know, people are still... Honestly, it's hard to convince people to shout themselves out. People feel weird about it. But, at least here in my channel, I hope we can change that. You know, if it becomes a problem where it's being abused and we need to readdress it, then we can readdress it. But, as it stands right now... I'd rather, why don't we all grow together and find cool new friends and cool shit and maybe learn something. I should have brought the air compressor hose over here, but I didn't. That's fine. We have one more row left, and then we're done on this side. Too many people feel like any marketing of other streams is frowned upon. Yeah. Well, I'll put it this way. I can't speak for anybody else. All I know is that if I was in somebody else's stream... Well... Okay, so there's some things where I get it's just, you know, courtesy, right? Like... I'm not going to be in somebody else's stream and say, you know, oh, hey, hi, good to see everybody. I'm going to go because I have to start my stream. Like, that's a little rude. But if I want to stop in and say hi and I can't stay, then I'll just say hi, can't stay. I'm not going to tell people, like, hey, I'm going to go start my stream right now. But if I was watching somebody else's channel and using an emote that I liked because it fit the conversation or fit the scenario, and then the streamer got all pissy about that, well, sorry, that's a stream that I don't want to watch anyway. You just lost my follow. A lot of times, I won't even say anything. I'll just leave it on lurk and I'll kind of ghost and go do my thing and then come back later. And half the time I'm like popping back into those tabs while I'm taking breaks out here anyway, so I'm still like half watching as I'm streaming. Point is, I'm not announcing it to that other person's chat. But if you're going to get, as a streamer, if you're going to get all upset that somebody is using a different channel's emotes, or maybe using their own emotes, you know, that's not somebody that I want to hang around. And yes, Poxler, this is Raindrop. And this bit is about to need a sharpening. I mean, it does need a sharpening already, but we're going to see if we can't just push through these last few holes. And I'll sharpen it later. I'll just put a new bit in. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's not a competition, I guess. For some people, it is. So, I really can't do anything about that if that's how you choose to view the world. There we go. So, yep, that is a Raindrop Damascus. That was incredibly quick, Dave. Do you and Amy just, like, inhale your food? Not judging, because that's what I do. I quite literally inhale my food. I've been hanging around Moko too long. I just said literally instead of literally. Yeah, King, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I enjoy, one of the things I really enjoy is not just watching other people's streams, but interacting. For those of you friends that stream and I hang out in your stream, you know, I love to shitpost. In a good-natured way, good fun. I enjoy all of your streams and your communities, and I have fun there. And I try to use emotes that fit the conversation, or emotes that are like my favorite emotes. And if somebody got all pissy about that, I'd just nope right out of their stream. Alright, good luck with your stream, pal. Best of luck to you. It ain't the place for me. I've not seen it personally either, but I've heard about it a lot. Oh, nobody. We were talking about... So, Dave, I was talking about the shout-out command being open and that I encourage people to shout themselves out. And, I was saying that that's not the best etiquette elsewhere, and then that came up as part of that topic, that, you know, there's streamers out there that get all butthurt if, you know, they even to the point where they get upset about using somebody else's emotes in their stream. I've not seen it personally, but I have heard of it. And this isn't the first time I've heard of it. I don't know, I feel like that's an insecurity thing to me. That's what it seems like. I mean, doesn't that seem a lot like a significant other saying you're only allowed to hang out with people that I approve of? I just don't have time for that kind of negativity in my life. They're basically saying, no, you're not allowed to spend your time or spend your money somewhere else. And if you do, you can't tell me about it. Nobody else should know. Like, get the fuck out of here. Sorry, pal, but you're not that fucking important. You're a fucking Twitch streamer. Like, sorry, I love Twitch. I love the communities. You all are fantastic people, but in the grand scheme of things, Twitch does not really mean anything. It's just a cool place for us to have awesome communities. You know, that whole self-important... I'm a fucking content creator, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. Thankfully, I've never met anybody like that. Stay put. Yeah, exactly. That's just it, King Steamy. Just and that's basically my rule for the channel, is just don't be a dick. Like, it's really not hard. Just do that in life. Don't be a dick. Like, it's seriously not that fucking hard. Yeah, that's literally the chat rules, is it not? I'm pretty sure that's because I couldn't think of rules, and I mean, I could think of rules, but it's all the standard, you know, keep religion and politics and all that shit to yourself, and I think that can easily just be summed up as don't be a dick. Ow, son of a motherfucker. That fucking hurt. Don't worry, I did not, I mean, I did hurt myself on the tool, but I did not hurt myself on the tool. For those of you that know, I had a workpiece slip off the grinder the other day, and I ground off part of the tip of my thumb on a 36 grit ceramic belt. So I got a big scrape there, pretty deep scrape, and it's covered up right now. And as I was spinning the handle to move the mill table, part of that handle just whacked me right in that scrape. That woke me up a little bit. No, 100% not. Grinder bites. So when you make knives and you work on these 2x72 grinders, grinder bites happen sometimes. I mean, it's not like, my whole thumb is still there. It's just there's a little flat spot that I ground off. Ground off a little bit of the fingernail and a little bit of the skin. So I got through down to the dermis, I would say. So it's not bad. It's like a severe scrape, basically. But I will say this. So I do tend to be accident prone. Every single blade that leaves my shop, every single one, no exaggeration, every single blade that leaves my shop has my blood, sweat, and or tears forged into it in some capacity. Now, of course, they are cleaned and they are food safe before they go out the door. It's not like I'm specifically, cutting my hand and squeezing blood into the blade like in the movies or some shit. But inevitably, I cut, stab, scrape, or poke myself at some point through the process on every single blade, whether it's sharpening or hand sanding or handle fit up or grinding, or burning myself in the forging process because forge scale flies off the billet and hits me in some way, shape, or form. A bit of me goes into every blade. Oh yeah, trust me, I know. So, for the new friends that aren't familiar with this, I had a chef knife that I made back in, what was it, about a year ago, actually. It's been about a year now. So I made a chef knife. It was a gift for my youngest sister for her birthday, I think. And I had just finished sharpening it, and I did the cutting edge at a 15-degree bevel per side. A lot of knives, including a lot of the store-bought chef knives that you'll find at department stores, so like the mass-produced stuff, they use a 20-degree edge per bevel, or for the cutting edge. So I did 15-degree. So it's a little bit sharper. I mean, it's a lot bit sharper. A little more delicate of an edge. And I just finished it. I was wiping it down, cleaning it all off, just applied a coat of mineral oil to protect the blade, and it slipped out of my hands. I felt it touch me on the way down, but it felt like the handle kind of hit my shin as I was trying to step out of the way. I didn't feel it actually cut me. It just felt like the like I said, it just kind of felt like the handle hit my shin on the way down, and the knife went tip first into the tile. So I was pretty frustrated, because at that point I thought I had just broken the knife. Tip first into tile or concrete is not good for a knife. It's a good way to chip or break a blade. So I bent down to pick up the knife and noticed that there was blood everywhere, like a murder scene. That knife cut me on my shin all the way down to the muscle. Didn't even feel it. And thankfully I live not even a block away from an emergency room, so I just went in and got a tetanus shot and stitches. The tetanus booster honestly hurt more than anything else in the whole process. Like, I never felt the cut, couldn't really feel the stitches, it didn't hurt when they were irrigating it and flushing it out, and it was such a clean cut. They could not have done any better with a scalpel. It was that clean. And good news is the knife was fine, so I cleaned it and sanitized it, and then still gave it as a gift. There are pictures of that on my Instagram. Just trigger warning, it is graphic, but if that doesn't bother you and you want to see what my knife did to my leg, it's the chef knife. That's a scrap Damascus chef knife. It's got a walnut, brass, and African wangi handle, and you can find it on my Instagram. There's a picture of that knife in the slideshow, but just the knife in my slideshow that's rotating on the screen. If you see that knife on my Instagram, you can slide through to find the pictures of that. And no, Poxler, I did not. But good news, I did just get my new insurance cards, so I can get an appointment scheduled next week. Ooh, that is a warm billet. Switch back to the other camera. Wow. I just saw that bit, Gamey. They specifically asked you what you're doing, so you tell them what you're doing, and then they're timing you out. How fucking dumb is that? Okay, we're going to change this camera, and now we're going to move the mill cam back over to the anvil. And then we're going to fire up the forge. Make up your mind, camera. Where do you want to sit? Right there? Are we good? Okay. I think we're good. Alright. Now we have our raindrop billet drilled. And for those not familiar with the raindrop billet, what this does, because this is 320 layers right now. So drilling in here, if I were to etch this right now, you could see a bunch of little concentric circles from all the layers, right? It's like a topographical map, basically. So now we're going to get this hot and forge it all back flat. And as it's forged flat, it stretches all this material out, so it'll expand those concentric rings, and it'll look kind of like the rings on a pond or on a body of water as raindrops fall on it. You know, the little ripples and the waves spreading out from the point of impact. And that's why it's called Raindrop Damascus. Yeah, King Steamy, pretty much. Like, if that's not an endorsement for the sharpness of my knife, I don't know what is. I got, it was either, so I think what it was is I could have actually gotten 12 stitches, but they decided to do 10 and just kind of leave the rest alone because it wasn't quite as deep at the very end. Probably should have had 12 stitches, but they did 10. And I mean, it healed up perfectly fine. I got a kick-ass scar. Pretty wicked scar. Goes from, let's see, does it show? Yeah, it does. So, from here to here. That singed the arm hairs a little bit. Alright, we'll let that start getting hot. Brett JC04, welcome in. It is, I mean, it's hot. It's about the same, maybe a little bit higher out here. I'm in Surprise. Let's see what the weather app says. The weather app's not the most accurate. But let's see. What do we got? 98. Here's what it actually is in my garage right now. "84 degrees Fahrenheit, 26% humidity." I have got, right there, a big evap cooler that's running. And then I also have, because of the forge, burning propane creates a lot of carbon monoxide. So I have, up in both corners of the shop, I have fans. So that cooler in the summertime runs and pulls cool air in this way. And there's a fan up in that corner of the garage that blows it across this way. And then there's a fan right up there that blows it back out that way. So it has a constant circle of air and blows and tries to exhaust the air along with the most of, if not all of, the exhaust gases from the forge back out the garage. Oh, Pox, this is nothing. Like, summer hasn't even really started yet. So if you're not familiar, Pox, Arizona is the Australia of America. It's like living on the surface of the sun. It is hot as fuck. It is the land of stabby plants, stabby animals, and stabby people. Literally everything out here is trying to kill you, including the air. It's fucking hot. So it's at the time of year now where it's hot outside. It's not exactly what I would call comfortable in the garage right now, but it's manageable. With the evap cooler. In about, I don't know, maybe another month at the most, it's going to get to the point where that evap cooler can't keep up. Because we're going to start hitting monsoon season. No, Death Valley's in California, but it's damn near the same thing. It does get hotter. Like, I think the record temps in Death Valley, but it's not really that much different from being in the desert here in Arizona, especially with all the city here trapping all the heat. So the enormous concrete jungle that is the Phoenix metro area is basically a massive heat island. Oh yeah, it easily it's not a joke when people say you can literally cook eggs on the sidewalk. That's not a joke. I do have, another couple of months from now, remind me, and I will run out there, just right outside the door, right here, and I'll infrared the ground and tell you exactly how hot the ground is. But sometime this year, I'm probably not going to escape, before summer's over, but sometime this year we're going to be moving east. The job has taken me to the Cleveland area. Hi. What are you doing? Did you have a good nap? Oh. I was saving that for later. Ah! What are you doing? Well, that's the light. That's the press. And that's the forge. And that's the grinder. Grinder. You still waking up? Yeah, you're still waking up. Yeah. It's the press. Oh, it's a zoo around here, Steamy. We have a dog, 2 cats, ferrets. Tiny human. You got the 1,000-yard stare going. Thank you, Tolkien. It's my little shield maiden. Can I have a hug? Hey. Can I have a hug? Yeah, thank you. So, okay, I'm done. Fucking mosquitoes. Seriously, I think I got bit like 6 times already. No, she's too little for that, Steady. She is still too little. She will. She wants to touch things, but nope. She's not even a year old yet. She's a big baby. She's big and stout like me. Chat, I cannot emphasize enough how much I fucking hate mosquitoes. It's the fucking desert. I should not be dealing with this shit. I'm pretty sure one of these houses around here has standing water that they don't take care of. She's got some plastic tools. Yeah, she's got a tool set. She likes the hammer. As soon as she's old enough to swing a hammer, she'll be out here swinging hammers with me. That is going to happen. I'm going to get some of these in the fire right now. So we got to thin down this billet for acres. And I think we will let the forge get... No, I'll put this one in there first. I was trying to decide which one of these I wanted to throw in there first. But I think we'll let that stuff heat up. Wait, a what mosquito? What is that? I've lived here my whole life. You would think I would know that. I should know that. Oh, those little bastards. Yeah. I think those are the little fuckers that are flying around my garage right now. Yeah, seriously, I got bit on my hands like 3 times already. Holy shit. No fucking way. No fucking way. Well, hot damn. I was not expecting this delivery until Monday. I'm gonna have to set the headset down for a minute, chat. 'Cause I have to go get a my debit card expired, so I have to go get a new card to pay for my propane delivery. I was not expecting this until Monday, though. So, give me 1 second, chat. I'm gonna leave all this running. I'm just gonna take the headset off. I'll be back in just a sec. Fucking hero! I was not expecting it on Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I could have sworn with the talk said put it out until next week on Monday.
You want to swap them?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I'm running on the barbecue tanks, right?
Dude, let's just do it. Oh, my bad, brother.
No, that's all good. I trust it. You're all surprised. Sweet. Let me grab my wallet.
Do you want to add your new card to the file?
I'll just use this one for this today.
Okay.
That way my new card can show up. So
Okay.
I'll just use the same amount, just a different snap card so far.
Okay.
So let me grab that real quick.
Is it okay if I run it on Monday?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so I got flat shit everywhere. That's probably what I put it in. And you don't sell high pressure regulators like this. One of these guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, ours are like a little different. They'll have 2 gauges off of it. The cylinder pressure and the output pressure side.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That part I'm worried about. I'll probably get one. I can just have to bring one next time. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, I think the gauge is so fun.
It still works though?
Yeah, the regulator's fine. The gauge is still. I mean, pretty old though. That's why.
Can't do it anyway.
Yeah, well, I think the gauge is still because I dropped it the last time I was on with this.
Yeah.
So a little bit popped out, and this seems like it's reading wrong.
Oh, okay.
But maybe it's reading right, and regulator's just fine.
Okay. Sign on here for me right there. And I'll run your card on Monday.
Okay.
I'll give you a copy.
Yeah, I got to look this up actually. That's what pressure is good for.
Right. Yeah, Lisa, just remind me next time you call in and I'll bring you one.
Okay, sweet.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, boss.
You too, man. Have a great weekend.
Brother.
Let's fucking go, chat. Propane delivery. All right, now I don't have to worry about how much life is in these barbecue tanks. We're gonna swap the regulator over to the big tank and fire the forge back up. What a great fucking Friday. Man, I am excited. As I called, for the longest time I had to go take the 100-pound tank to get it refilled. And when some a-hole cut me off and slammed on their brakes, completely screwing up the front end of the truck, I was left without a choice but to use the Mustang for refills. I did that for about a year at a place that's only like a mile down the road. Normally I wouldn't want to carry a tank that big inside the car, but it's literally a mile down the road, and it's all back roads anyway. And the owner of the place was really cool, didn't really care. And then all of a sudden they got new ownership and new people, and they started being really shitty about it. And none of the places that I had contacted offered any sort of propane delivery. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe I should check my welding supply place where I get all my welding gear from. See if they carry all the welding gas and shit that I might need. Maybe they'll carry propane, because I know they do oxyacetylene. Maybe they'll have propane for like oxypropane setups. Sure enough, they do, and they deliver it. So it costs a little bit more, but fuck it, I'll pay for the convenience. Regulator's definitely not reading right. But that's alright. We got enough propane for now. We've got a full 100-pound tank. Let's fucking go. Alright, catch up with chat now. Like Asian murder hornets, but they suck your blood. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I do have, so I've got a small little barbecue tank there. I actually have two of them. Barbecue tanks are typically 20-pound tanks. And they, so the poundage weight on them is like what a empty container weighs. 20-pound barbecue tank should hold 5 gallons or thereabouts of propane. A 100-pound tank is about, I think it's actually a little over 5 gallons, because a 20-pound tank holds about 25, 26 gallons of propane. But I have 2 barbecue tanks just in case for a backup. You know, because when I could take this to get it filled, if it ever ran out, I would just toss it in the car, drive a mile down the road, and get it refilled. Now with the delivery, I have to call, and they usually can't get it until the next day. So in those scenarios, I decided to keep the barbecue tanks full, and I got 2 of them, and I just keep them on hand. So that's what I was using, because I called to get these refilled, but they were booked out all week. And I thought they weren't going to be able to deliver till Monday, because that's what they had said. But here they are today, with my 100-pound tank. Problem with 20-pound barbecue tanks running a forge is that they, you know, if you're foraging for more than like an hour, they tend to freeze up. Because they run on a higher pressure than what your barbecue would, so they require a different regulator. It uses a high pressure regulator, not a low pressure one. Most of the stuff that you'd have in an RV or on your barbecue grill would be a low pressure regulator, so it only uses a small amount of propane. High pressure regulator, it's using a lot more propane, and you know, in order for it to be a liquid, because propane does not want to be a liquid, it wants to evaporate and be a gas, so it's under pressure in there, and that's how it stays a liquid. And when you have liquids like that that are condensed, so when you have a gas that's condensed into a liquid, when it evaporates and boils off, it takes energy out of the surrounding material and cools it down. That same general concept is how air conditioners work. That regulator, I think, does both, but its primary measurement is PSI. I think it's marked for... Oh, no. Sorry, I'm wrong. That one's only marked for PSI. But it's a really weird marking. It's got, like, just a hairline above is above 0 is, I think, 1. And then after 1, it's in half PSI increments. Because the gauge goes 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And between 0 and 5, there is 2, 4, 6, 8 hash marks between 0 and 5. So the middle hash mark would be 2.5 psi. That one would be like 1 3/4. Or, sorry, 1 1/4. Like, it's fucking weird the way that they mark this thing. Yeah, so it's half psi increments. So the first hash right above 0 is half a psi. Second mark is 1 psi. But I think the whole thing is broken because it's old, number 1, and number 2, I dropped it when I was switching the hoses previously, because this forge used to be able to run forge welding heat no problem at 1 psi or less, and right now the gauge is reading at 1.5 psi. So either the regulator's bad, or, I mean, not completely bad, it still works, but the regulator's bad, or the PSI gauge is bad. Ravenloft, welcome in, my friend. Up the irons. Yes, Iron Maiden is hands down my all-time favorite band. Yeah, Brett, you can get them in whichever one. You know, it just depends. I mean, there might be certain companies that default to that, but you can buy whatever you want. Like mine, I had to assemble. I get a lot of my stuff from hightemptools.net. Like I buy refractory in the 50-pound bags. I get ceramic fiber insulation from them. Infrared coating, so ITC 100 I'll get from them. I bought that regulator and the hose from them. And the gauge is, I don't remember if the gauge was included or if I got the gauge separate. I don't recall on that one. I had to put it all together though. Devil's Forge. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you can really get, as long as it's got the right threaded, and you basically get the brass fittings, so you just buy, I want to say they're, don't quote me on this, but I want to say most of the fittings for the PSI gauge on a regulator is a 1/4 inch NPT thread brass fitting. At least all the ones that I've seen here in the States, I think they're 1/4 inch, if I'm remembering correctly. So as long as it's the same, I mean, if you're already used to it, it doesn't really matter. You know, you either know where it needs to be or you can do the conversions, but if you really, really, really wanted a PSI gauge, you could just get a gauge that's got a 1/4 NPT fitting, as long as that's what it's tapped for. Just swap it out. You would just want to make sure you use the yellow PTFE thread. Feels like there's a tiny little sliver of steel or something in my knuckle, but I don't see it. Yeah, that's the thing. Once you get used to it, it's like, why bother? You already know where it's supposed to be. You're used to the measurement system. It's like, it's not even worth it at that point. I know those feels. You know what? I think we do need to move this camera, though. Teasing Marmalade, welcome in. Right now, we're just sitting here chatting. I am Lone Mountain, aka Will. Most people just call me Lone. And we're waiting for the steel to heat up. We just drilled one of the billets for Raindrop Damascus, and that is now in the forge, heating up. Along with another billet that the buyer, or customer, you could say, has requested we make a little bit thinner. So we're thinning it down. So we're just kind of hanging out while that stuff heats up. And I was kind of, while we were chatting, I was trying to look at my finger. So it feels like there's a tiny little sliver of metal in there somewhere. Aha, there it is. I see it now. There is. Okay. I found it. It is the tiniest of tiny little metal splinters. Right in my knuckle, right in the side there. I'm going to go pull that out real quick because I need to grab some gauze and some tape anyway to replace the Band-Aid, because this Band-Aid is going to fall off while I'm hammering. And that will hurt. So I'm going to go do that. I will be right back. Give me just a second. Okay, we are back. Alright, now I should have, unless I brought them inside. No, I did not. Scissors. Blacksmith Pop, welcome in, my friend. How are you? Oh yeah, I've got Moko up too. Feel free to lurk here and go win some free shit, because that's what we're going to be doing, friends. If you didn't hear it earlier, you could win one of my knives today. At the end of the stream, we're going to raid into our friends, Moko Made, amazing friends of the channel. They hit partner a couple of weeks ago, and they are celebrating by giving away a whole bunch of free stuff today. They've been giving away stuff all day, and it's going to be going on for quite a while tonight. And to celebrate all that they do for the makers and crafting and art communities, not just for myself, but for all other makers and crafters and artists, I sent them one of my low-layer twist K-bar style fighting knives to give away today. And Derek from Moko Made is going to make his first ever knife sheath to go along with it. He is a leather worker. He's just never done a knife sheath before. So, when we are done here, we are going to head over there for the rest of their party. And when we get there, then they will give away one of my knives. The only requirement there is that you're following them. And they're giving away all kinds of stuff. So if you feel like watching them now and winning free stuff now, go follow now. I'll do another shout out here. Don't feel obligated to stay. Also, shout out to Blacksmith Pop. Just getting back. He's a blacksmith, fellow blacksmith. He's just starting up streaming the blacksmithing on Twitch. Give him a follow. Follows are free. If you like hitting of hot steel, right there, click the name. All right, thumb taped up, so we're good there. 100%. Always feel free to shout yourself out here. I encourage it. Damn it, these tweezers suck. Well, there's quite a few blacksmiths on Twitch. Not like a huge, overwhelming number, but there's a few of us. And most of us tend to know each other, and when we find out about a new one, we all follow. Much like Twitch, okay, I think I got it out. The blacksmithing community tends to be incredibly supportive of each other and also very welcoming in bringing new folks into the craft, into the hobby, into the trade. Can't say every single blacksmith is like that, but an overwhelming majority is. Yeah, searching isn't great. You just kind of find them organically. And by meeting other people. Once you find one blacksmith, you start to find them all if you spend enough time just watching and hanging out. Alright, starting to get warm. It's not super hot yet, but yeah, that's how you find them. And you know, you can find... I'll do this one, because they have a... No, I won't do that one, because I don't remember how to spell his name. I have him in the follows, but I'm not going to go digging for that right now. Martillo's Workshop. Was it Workshop or Martillo? Martillo something. I know him from Discord, but he's he streams on here, and there is a Blacksmiths Guild stream team. And you can find some other blacksmiths that way. So off the top of my head, and I know I'm going to be forgetting some that I do personally follow as well, but there's, off the top of my head, we have Burroughs Forge, Texan Space Agency, Livingston Forge just started on Twitch, Blacksmith Pop just started on Twitch. Oh, nice, Raven. Yeah, Herman is... awesome. I lurk there when I can, when I see him on. I love metal. I play guitar. Love metal. But this is my side business. I'm an IT guy by day. I do play guitar though. I'm not anywhere near as good as Herman Lee is. That man is a fucking guitar god. Speaking of guitars, I've met quite a few amazing luthiers on Twitch. T, have a fantastic night, my friend. It was good to see you. Go relax. Go get some rest. Thank you for popping in. I will catch you around. See you on the next one. We're going to switch to the squishy cam here. Blacksmith Dan, I think, is new. I don't know if he started streaming yet, but I've seen him in chat. But as far as ones that actually stream that I know of, there's Burroughs Forge, Steadfast Blacksmith. Steady was in here. We have Steady, Burroughs. There's Tim the Blacksmith, Texan Space Agency, Blacksmith Pop, Livingston Forge. Son of a bitch. I forgot power. Livingston Forge, Martillo's Workshop, The Forge, TH3, FORG3, The Forge, just threes instead of E's, and Swiss Forge, Swiss_Forge, both fantastic blacksmiths. Acres Ridge Forge, whose billet, Damascus billet we're working on today. We're making a billet of Damascus for Acres Ridge Forge. Another awesome friend of the channel. Who else am I missing? Jack Frost, awesome friend of the channel, probably lurking in here right now. Jack Frost, but an underscore instead of an O. Who else am I missing? I don't remember if Uxard streams or not, but I know Ux is always in the other blacksmithing streams. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody. I mean, I'm forgetting multiple people, but who else am I forgetting? Help me out here, Pop. Or Jack. Or anybody else. Now this part is going to be slower going because once it's this thin, the dies will suck heat out of the billet very quickly. And unless I want to use the drawing dies, which I don't, it's going to take a while. Toss that one back in the forge. Bridge, welcome in. Good to see ya. No worries. Never feel obligated to stay. I appreciate you popping in and saying hi. When we are done today, so it's about just short of 5 p.m. for me, so I'll be on for another 3 or 4 hours getting this stuff done. When we're done, we're going to pop over to our friends at Moco Made, and they're going to be giving away one of my knives. I don't... That name doesn't sound familiar, but I don't know. Oh, there's also River Rat Forge. I don't know if he streamed recently. Fire Dog Forge. Zintac. But he mostly, I think he games. Yeah, Hammered Smith. That's right. I forgot about Hammered Smith. And then who else is there? No worries, Bridge. Have a fantastic evening. Enjoy your weekend, my friend. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. May your weekend be relaxing and refreshing. As far as knife makers, there's Johnson Knives. DK Ironworks hangs out in chat. I don't remember if he started streaming yet or not. AMR Blades. I haven't seen him for a while, but AMR was streaming for a bit. He's a newer bladesmith, a newer maker. Who else am I missing? There's others, so blacksmith friends, if you're catching this at some point and I forgot about you, it's not because I don't love you. I'm sorry. My brain is... it only works part of the time. Dave, are you hiding? Are you lurking around anywhere? It is way too hot. Randy, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. Dave, step forth. I probably told Pop about you, Jack. He probably found you here, to be honest. Oh, ow. Okay, round 2 on the squishy. Oh yeah, because we were talking about blacksmiths on Twitch. Dave, where you at? Yes and no. So we started the stream, Randy, that billet that I remade. I drilled it at the start of the stream for raindrops. So we're flattening that now. And then the ladder billet that we finished the last stream, the customer wanted that billet a little bit thinner, so we're drawing it thinner right now. And then the knife for Upstate Dave, we'll get in the forge afterwards. Steady, welcome back, my friend. Is Acres lurking? Or Belint. Belint, are you still here? Raven, it is not. That, well, in the tiny frame, this frame, that is the 111 or 112 pounder. It is an NC Tools anvil. It's the NC Big Face. And as soon as we're done with the press, I'll move the camera back over to it. So the Big Face is the one that's got, it's got kind of a shelf on either side, so it's got a larger face. 2 turning cams on the side. And then the Hardy is up front on the horn, and the Pritchel is on the heel. And then there's a turning hole in the heel. A lot of people get confused and think it's a really large Pritchel hole. It's not, it's a turning hole. So turning cams, turning hole, Hardy hole, and then there's 2 shelves up on the horn as well, in addition to the shelf. So there's a lot of useful little features that are really made for shoeing, because it's a farrier's anvil, but I actually find a lot of use out of them. Why? Because you thought it was a gigantic Pritchel? It's okay to admit it, Jack. I didn't know they made a 70 Big Face. But then again, I don't know. Because I believe they have changed the models over the years, and I think there's been different models. Like there's been Big Faces or various other sizes with the turning cams on the heel instead of on the side. Would the shelf get in the way of tooling the step? Not really. I mean, it's got a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches between the shelf and the Hardy. Well, inch and 5/8. Call it 1.5 inches. Or inch and 5/16, I mean. So just shy of 1.5 inches. Oh, I bet you will, Steady. I bet you will. Alright. Let's do some more squishies. Probably going to use that water forge scale trick here in a bit. Amish Ace, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. How are you doing, Ace? Amish Ace, everybody. Amazing friend of the channel. Brick builder, Gundam builder, mostly Lego, all around Star Wars nerd, super awesome streamer, and an awesome friend. Definitely recommend giving a follow. Ace is who we're building this knife for. Low layer twist Damascus, this one will be. So we should start the grinding on this tomorrow with the other knives. Doing some more forging today. Now, question, Ace. How sexy do you want this knife to be? And here's why I ask. Because I can give this 100% pure, unfiltered sexy with real bits of Panther, so that when you use this knife 60% of the time, it works every time. I can infuse this directly into this blade. I'm just saying. It is actual, factual, legit Sex Panther cologne. It's made with real bits of Panther, so you know it's good. I'm just saying, it makes every knife at least 60% sharper. We're on the right camera. Okay. Okay, we still have a little ways to go with this. Where are my calipers? Calipers, where did you go? Who stole my calipers? Here they are. Over by the mill, where I last used them. Okay, so we're still at 3/16. He wants it thinner than that. We got some room, but we do need to account for forge scale. So I think we're just going to straighten this and maybe thin down the ends just a little bit. I don't really want to go any smaller than that. Because he's going to do stock removal. I don't think he's going to forge much of it because he doesn't want to distort the pattern. pretty normal with Damascus. If you don't want to distort the pattern by forging, you just do stock removal. But not only does he have to account for cleaning up forge scale, but he's also going to need to account for decarb when he heat treats, which is going to be more material lost. So we want to plan ahead for that in the billet so that he doesn't have too little material for making knives. Nope, not 69%, only 60% sharper, because 60% of the time, it works every time. And, Ace, when we are done here, I think you already know this, but if not, when we're done here, we're going to raid on over to our friends over at Moko Made, and when we do, they will give away the low-layer twist K-bar style fighting knife. One of these styles right here. Made by me, yours truly. So for anybody that isn't familiar with Moko Made, the only requirement is that you be a follower there to enter the giveaways. Yeah, I feel you. I know those feels. Not two, but I've got the one that when I'm not out here, she's getting to the point where she's getting to be a handful. I'll give another shout out too. So Moko Made, they're doing their partner celebration. They just got partnered a couple weeks ago. So if you haven't heard this yet, they're giving away shit all day. Feel free to lurk here and go win some free shit over there. What steels do I use? Depends on what the order is. So these ones are 1084 and 15N20. I've done 80 CRV2 and 15N20. For mono steel blades, single steels, I've used any high carbon steel. Typically 1084, 1095, 15N20, 52100, 5160, 80 CRV2, if I didn't already say that. W2. I've also used 1095 and 15N20 for Damascus. I've done 01 tool steel for knives. Generally though, I stick with 10 series steels. Yeah, it is Aldo's. I mean, so it's New Jersey Steel Baron for anybody that's not familiar. And honestly, it heat treats really well, but recently I've had some weird issues with their 1084. Like even before getting it in the forge, grinding it, I'll have little bits that explode out like there's some kind of inclusions or something rolled into it. Where did I put... Oh. I left him on the damn quench tank. I already forgot who I was telling this to. don't remember if it was you, Raven, or somebody else. Somebody was asking about forge scale. So let me set this aside for a minute because I am going to blast that forge scale off with the water trick. But I need to thin down this billet a little bit more. Oh yeah, yeah. I order it in 4-foot sections. So, and I usually order quite a decent amount at a time. Not like huge amounts, but my steel orders normally run between 500 and $1,000 a shot. So, I mean, as far as people that order go, that's probably small potatoes. Especially now with the way prices are. Same with grinding belts. Shit, my last belt order, I'm really stretching the belts now. I mean, I've got a decent amount of 36 grits still, but everything else, I'm really stretching those belts right now. My last belt order was like $600 and something. Well, it's because I'm making Damascus, right? So I'll order, like the last order I think I got, because I had more orders for high layer patterns. So I got 10 bars of 1/8, well the whole order, it was all 1/8 inch thick stock for the 1084 and 15N20. And I got 10 4-foot bars, 2-inch wide by 1/8 inch thick, 1084, and then 10 of the same of 15N20. So I got 20 bars of 1/8 inch stock for that, and then I got a 4-foot bar. I got 2 different size 4-foot bars of 1/4 inch stock 80 CRV2 for a large order that I'm currently working on. I've just been doing it off stream. So I think the 20 bars plus the 2 80 CRV2 bars ended up being a pretty big price tag after shipping. Zen, welcome in. Good to see you. How are you, my friend? Zintaus, everybody, another friend of the channel. Hangs out in quite a few awesome communities. Does variety streaming, plays a bunch of different games, and is a heckin' nice human being. Should definitely give him a follow. Yes and no, Zen. Yes and no. So, let me run a forging pass on this, another squishy pass. So a couple of things to keep in mind. But generally speaking, yes, it took a long time, but also they weren't forging pattern welded steel, right? They were just refining and using whatever they could. And, you know, techniques also might have varied and did vary by region in the world. But if you're talking European, right, power hammers have really existed for a long time. They were just driven by water. You'd have a really big log and a water wheel that would drive a really huge, you just have a really big weight, whether it was a block of iron or a stone or whatever. You would have a really big automatic hammer that was driven by water. You could also have grinding wheels driven by water, so, you would round out a stone and have the axle made out of a log or something. And, again, same thing, driven by water for the grinding stone. Then there were foot-powered grinding stones. So they weren't as technologically bereft as you might imagine for pre-electrical times. I mean, we're talking like really old, where they had access to this stuff. But generally speaking, because not every blacksmith shop would have that. What you did have was a shop boy, or multiple shop boys. So, and it's still used now. The apprentice's job in a blacksmith shop is usually holding a workpiece or being a striker. Generally, the master smith will hold the piece and hold the other tools, and you would have one or more strikers. You can manually work all this stuff down. If I had 2 extra people, we could make really big Damascus billets really quick. You just have multiple strikers. So you have people with larger hammers that get in a rhythm, and they do all the striking. And then for fine work, like if I need to flatten a piece, right, I might have a tool, usually a handled tool. It wouldn't be handheld, it would be on a handle. But I'm trying to find the one that Gnome sent me. Here it is. So this is like a tiny handheld version of a flatting tool, right? So let's say you wanted to, and a flatting tool, the way it works is you would have a very, very flat, and then just kind of rounded on the edges, but a very flat surface that lays on top of your material, and it's struck from the top side of the tool. Generally, it would be on a handle, and it would be much larger. So you just imagine a hammer with a big square plate on the bottom. That's kind of what a flatter tool is. So, in a scenario where you might have an apprentice and as acting as a striker, the smith would hold the workpiece and the flatting tool, and then they would direct the striker on when to hit, and then they would move around and have the striker or the apprentice strike the top of the tool. And that would happen for a lot of different tooling or workpieces. So even without, like a water hammer or anything, there were smiths that were able to do it by themselves. I mean, you got to think that's all they did all day, every day. They were a hot commodity for their area, their village. Yeah, I feel like it would be weird being a striker for somebody else. Okay, so this is still pretty thick, but we've got a good amount of usable material here that we're going to work down, but I am going to let it cool off because I need to cut the ends off of this billet because we didn't cut them off before. So when I welded up the billet previously to get it to 320 layers, there's MIG welds on the end, right? And the ends are the highest chance areas where there might not be a good weld, but there's also mild steel in there from where it was tack welded together, and I want to cut all that off. So I'm going to let this cool down so I can cut that off, and then and that way we can keep working on it. And in the meantime, We are going to get this billet back in the forge so we can blast the forge scale off. Then we'll get Dave's knife back in the forge so that we can start shaping the tang on that knife. And I'm also going to move the camera back over so you can see the anvil and all that stuff happening. And I should probably turn the forge down a bit now. Yeah, I don't know that they would necessarily have a lot of apprentices, but there would be at least one, usually. Chat pulled back up on the phone so I can have chat over there as well. Yeah. Well, my hand isn't a good comparison. So shelf to heel is 12.5 inches. Face is 4.5 wide. The two cutting shelves is 6 inch. 9.5 from tip of the horn to the shelf. Oh, and if we have time tonight, depending on how far we get on these before we have to go say hi to the Moko friends, then we'll see about starting a Sith dagger, Ochi's dagger from the movies. I've had an ask about doing that, and I think that's within the realm of possibility of starting as far as some of the stock that I have available. I mean, a dagger's a dagger. I would just, forge a dagger shape and then cut out some of the fine details with the grinder. Okay, I need a water bottle. So first thing we're going to do is straighten. Oops. There goes a piece of steel. So we're going to straighten this billet. Thankfully not too bad, but there's quite a bit of forge scale on it. So, the good old water trick. Water on the anvil. I don't know if you can hear that popping. Or if you can see it, but it blasts off the forge scale there. And I'll just give this one quick flattening pass. But that's pretty much it. Blast off most of the really tough forge scale. And that way the rest is super easy to clean off without having to wear down all your belts. Straight enough. Alright. So we set that down. And I have a shield maiden yelling at me. So I'm going to go say hi. Goddess, welcome in. Good to see you. How are you? Hi, little one. What are you doing? Do I want to taste, or are you telling me to taste? What? Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, questions that I need to answer. So first off, Goddess, welcome in. Goddess, everybody, part of the LEGO family. Also does some video gaming. You should definitely click on that name, give her a follow. Now, Damascus is... Yes, there is something different about it, Goddess. Damascus is just the pattern. Modern day Damascus is just pattern welded steel, so it's just making the knives look pretty, right? Like, this is a low layer twist Damascus. This is a very high layer variation of a ladder pattern. But it's just the pretty stuff. It serves no function whatsoever in terms of the quality of the knife or its performance. It's really these days just a one for the beauty, and two as a testament to the skill of the smith or the maker. So it's not like it's, you know, any performance benefit or whatever. need to turn that forge down some more. It's a little hot. The water does shock the scale off, but it's basically the impact and the steam, like Randy said. It's not so much that it's like a quench, it just kind of shocks it and breaks it free. Turn that down a little bit more. It's toasty in here, chat. Yeah, it's a little bit like a controlled steam explosion. Kinda, yeah. Oh, it is toasty. That's where we're at right now. Yeah, it's a little rough. It's a little rough. The heat definitely saps the brain. Oh, it's such slow going. It's not that, I mean, forge heat isn't so bad. It's the, like, if the temperature outside was like 70 degrees, it would be fine. So basically, if I lived in San Diego, or 70 degrees all year, that would be amazing. But that would be a ridiculous number of knives I'd have to sell to be able to afford that. Alright, I'm going to get the actual tang in here so we can cut off what we don't need. Oh, I need a lot more customers. A lot more. Well, not just that, but I would really need to up my prices as well. Like, to be able to do this full time is a very tall order. It's a really, really tall order. Which one? The one on the anvil? Or the dog's head? Which hammer? Okay. So this one is made Trick, if he is still in here. Trick 9, aka Hammered Hog. You can find him on Instagram. I don't think he streams yet, but I've known Trick for quite a while. I know him as Trick. I refer to him as Trick because of his Discord name. Fellow blacksmith, and I try to help out and support other blacksmiths where I can. So I do periodically order stuff from other fellow smiths. This is one of those hammers. It's just a rounding hammer and a diagonal peen. I very much like a diagonal peen because of my back. I kind of tend to stand at weird angles to the anvil because it's more comfortable on my back. I've got a back injury. I wrecked an ATV many years back and fractured some vertebrae, ruptured some discs, messed up my hip really good. So between that and the camera, I don't stand in a traditional way like you should. You know, it's not comfortable on my back to stand quite in proper posture, so I do lean over a little bit over the work. And I find the diagonal peen to be much more useful than a straight or a cross peen for me. So it's just a diagonal peen rounding hammer. And then from a different blacksmith, I got a 2.5 pound dog's head hammer. Also somebody that I know from Discord. I had to rehandle it, but the hammer itself is nice and functional. I've got some cheap hardware store sledgehammers laying around. I've got a diamond 2.2 rounding hammer. This is really more of a farrier hammer. But I would say these are my two most heavily used hammers. The rounding, I want to say, is like 3 pounds, and the other one's 2.5. You don't really need a huge hammer. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking they need to get a 4, 5 pound hammer. You don't. $2.5 pound hammer does a lot of work. And it's a lot easier to go all day long without tiring on a 2.5 to 3.5 pound hammer than it is on a 5 pound hammer. And Zen, trust me, that is not a lot of hammers. I really don't have a lot of hammers. We're just squishing a tang out of this. Just kind of roughing it in real fast on the press. Yeah, I really like 2.5 to 3 pounds. I really like. Then again, you know, I also hang on a sec. Think that was outside? Just making sure my forge isn't backfiring. I have a press, so I don't need a heavy hammer to try to move material faster. But honestly, on a 2.5 pound, even on a 2.5 pound or a 3 pound, like the 3 pound diagonal peen, using your peen, that's right, using your peen, folks, gentlemen, use your peen correctly and using the horn. So a combo of using the horn and using the peen. Huh? Eyebrows, eyebrows, wink, wink. Uh-huh. Using the horn and using the peen can draw material very much quicker than you might expect, even on a 2.5 pound hammer. You kind of claw with the peen. I'm not following steady. What do you mean? I'm not tracking. I don't know if I have a, I think my hot cut is broken. It is broken. That's alright, we're going to use a broken hot cut here. Just a handheld hot cut, not a hardy tool. Because I never did get around to making the hardy tool.
Now stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing.
Thank you for that follow. I'll check that in a second. My poor... I mean, this was a really, really quick and dirty. I'm actually going to grind it here real quick to get a sharper edge. Vinny, SC10, welcome in. Thank you for that follow. Oh, yeah, that just depends on where you want to move it, Steady. 100%. I mean, I do that with all my hammer strokes, not just with the peen. What you'll catch me doing, like if I'm hammering in bevels, right? Because for the non-smiths that aren't versed, when you hit steel with the hammer, it's going to spread in all directions from the impact. Now, it may, depending on the angle you hit, you know, or how you hit it, it might move a little bit more in one direction than the other, and you can also force that as well, but it'll spread in all directions from the hit. And generally, you want to move material in a specific way. So, and you'll see a lot of blacksmiths, all of us, when we're forging things, right? You'll see me do it a lot, where we're hitting it this way, and then we turn it and hit it this way to bring it back into the profile that we want, because it's spreading material out in all different directions, and we're trying to get it back into a specific profile while also moving it the way we want. So there's a combination of turning your work and readjusting your profile as you're going and thinning it down or drawing it out. But you'll notice what I do a lot when you'll see it when I'm forging in a bevel. Let's see, here's a good example. On something like this. So if I'm trying to forge in a bevel and thin it out, not only do I want to thin it, but I don't necessarily want to draw the steel this way. So you'll notice when I'm hammering, I'll be kind of hammering like this. So my stroke with the hammer is trying to pull material this way. So and if I'm doing it, you know, when I flip it around, then my stroke is going this way, where I'm pulling the hammer towards me and trying to draw more of the material this way. Or if I was trying to draw the length out and I was hammering either on the flat or on the horn of the anvil, same thing. I'm pushing away or pulling it towards me. So I mean, you do have control, not just with the peen. Vinny, welcome in. There's quite a few of us. Some of us are in the channel right now. Steady, right up there, is one of our fellow smiths. Steady or Jack or any of the friends, if you're around, feel free to give shout-outs to anybody and everybody. Vinny, my shout-out command is open. Strongly encourage shameless self-promotion. You know, my only real rule is don't be a dick. But I specifically am a bladesmith. And right after we're done here, we're going to be raiding into some awesome friends that are celebrating getting partner a couple of weeks ago, and they're giving away one of my knives. One of these low-layer twist K-bar style fighting knives, only it's a fully finished one, not one that still needs handles and stuff. But I do all different types of fixed blade knives, Mostly Damascus, because that's what people order. All of my work is commission work, and it's all made to order. So most of the orders I get are for Damascus blades, so I'm making Damascus most of the time. And when I'm working on those commissions, we'll be out here in the shop with the cameras on, doing all that stuff. So welcome in. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always happy to answer, to chat, explain what I'm doing. But yeah, that's kind of my rule in life, right? Is don't be a dick. Nice. Yeah, there's Steady or Jack or really any of the blacksmith friends can probably find the link for you. There's a really cool Discord group. There's quite a few Discord groups. But Hammer Bros is a good resource on Discord for knowledge. Just getting back into it and kind of learning from fellow smiths. Twitch is obviously good. There's a lot of awesome blacksmiths here on Twitch. It's just kind of hard to discover them. Once you find one, you'll start finding all the rest. And I'm going to grind this really terrible, quick and dirty, cheap hot cut. That's already broken, because I broke it the last time I used it. Done. My broken, fucked up, only needed to last for one job hot cut, and it's now doing a second job. Hey, it survived 2 jobs, sort of. Partway intact. Alright. And this is scrap. This will go into a scrap Damascus or something. I don't think I'm going to do anything else with it. Just toss it up over here. Set it on some fire brick. Let it cool down. Yeah, there's a lot of good blacksmithing info and resources. Again, basic rule there is just don't be a dick. Beyond that, just like Twitch, I stay out of and stay away from the politics stuff. But a lot of good, useful smithing info. Why I still have that glove. I don't want that glove. to get this hot, and I'm going to push the tang. It's just doing a rough, really rough squish in there. Push the tang too far down from the spine. Not a big deal, though, because we can adjust that. More heat. I am, Vinny. I'm out in Surprise, and it is hot as fuck. I mean, it only does so much. It's still uncomfortable in here, but it's less uncomfortable than without it. I've got a big evap cooler right there, pulling in air and cooling it, and then up in this corner in the shop, I've got a fan up on the mounted up on the wall, high up on the wall, that blows air this way to a fan that's mounted up in this corner, back up here, that blows air back out that way towards the door to exhaust the forge gases and heat. So it's circulating cool air through the shop. It does help with the temperature, at least right now. It makes it somewhat manageable. So with the forge actually running, it's 91, 24% humidity. As soon as monsoon season hits, it's going to be miserable. Yeah, I mean, you basically need AC. There's not a whole lot you can do. That and lots of water. Lots and lots of water. We're going to end up with way more tang. I'm probably just going to end up cutting more off and bringing this back. I might just clean it up on the grinder. So I have to thin this down quite a bit still. Yeah, this is still really thick. But, I'll tell you what. It is freaking hot out here. And I need to take a break and get some food because I think I'm definitely feeling the heat still. Not feeling so great. And we've got a decent number of folks here that probably might, maybe-haps, want to win a knife from me. So we are going, well, I go get some food and kind of cool down for a bit because I don't want to put it on break for that long. Will I cool down? That's not fair to everybody else. We're going to raid on over to Moko, our super awesome friends, who's giving away one of my knives. One of those right there. Yep, it just changed. One of the K-bar style fighting knives. All you got to do to win is be following, and then when they do the drawing for it, you just enter. So we're going to pop on over there. I might pop back on later tonight. I might just do it tomorrow, earlier in the day before it gets super hot. I'm not sure yet. But either way, I appreciate all the new friends, all the new follows, all the amazing conversations. You all rock. I'm going to queue up this raid real quick. And then switch here. I appreciate it, Raven. Have fun. Enjoy the game, my friend. We'll go here, we'll do this. Here's the thing. And we will make this thing. Do this thing. Sweet. That thing is queued up. So if you're not already following, give them a follow when we get there. Are you saying bye? Say bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, good job. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright, I appreciate y'all. Stick around. Give our Moko friends a follow. And hopefully one of you amazing people will win one of my knives. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you next time. Hi, Liz. Bye, Liz. Stick around, though. We're going to Moko Made. Liz, don't go anywhere. Moko is giving away a bunch of stuff, including a knife from me, because it's their partner celebration. So stick around. Win some stuff. I'll catch you guys over in the chat as well. It's just really hot. I need to cool down and get some food and kind of rest a little bit. But I will see you all around, friends. Bye. Bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Close enough.